Hey guys, Phil from Aussie Garage. We're here at Rusty's again today. Now, we've already interviewed this XT GT tribute car. Today we've got an XR and an XY. Now the XR is done to perfection, absolute perfection, inside and out. The XY, daily driver, 8,000 kilometres, takes it to the tip, takes it shopping, doesn't care.
Enough with the suspense, let's go have a look. Right, g'day everyone and welcome back to Aussie Garage. Today we're here with Rusty. Now those who remember, we interviewed Rusty a couple of years ago. So anyway, welcome back to the channel, mate. Look, it's been a couple of years and you've been up to a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I haven't stopped working.
Yeah, fair enough. Obviously we've already talked about this one, and if people want to know all about the XT, jump back onto our previous episode from a couple of years ago now, hasn't it?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah. So what have you been up to since then?
Well, we moved to this place and I bought a smashed XT, another smashed XT.
Okay.
And fixed that up. And then another XY.
Yeah, okay.
And
yeah,
then obviously
I've spotted that one over there, yeah.
an XR. So
Yep.
three.
Yeah, nice.
Three more.
So the XT, you went full rebuild on that one too, didn't you?
It was smashed and rusted, so I've gapped it all up, took it back to bare metal, put it in etch primer, just a light coat of etch primer, and then put all the GT stuff on it for someone, and then sold it off.
Okay.
And then that guy's painting it. I think he's painting it orange actually.
Okay, so he just bought it as a clean shell.
Yeah.
Did it have interior or engine in it, that one?
No engine, no interior.
Okay.
Just all the panel work done, all the hard stuff done, like sill panels, floors, quarter panel, and everything. And then it's pretty much on a silver platter for him to get someone else to prep all the body and paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that is the hard stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Getting all the rust repairs done, and not everyone can do that kind of heavy body work, can they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So XT, and then what did you find after that one? That was the XY, was it?
Yeah, the guy sold me the XT. He said, I've got an XY, it's full of bullet holes.
Okay.
Do you want it for $4 grand? I'm like, $4 grand is probably a bit too much.
Yeah.
I'll give you $2 grand, deliver it. And he said, okay. So I ended up with an XY. Well, it hadn't been in a smash, but it was full of bullet holes and rust. So I put in the top paddock as a bit of a garden art joke type thing.
Yep.
And then I couldn't help but to do some GT blackouts on it and put a spoiler on it and in the paddock. And then people started stopping, and so I thought, I sort of dared myself to have a crack at it and fix it.
Yep.
So I brought it in here and then I got serious with it and fixed it up.
Yeah, no worries.
In,
and now
in 20 weeks.
And now it's licensed and on the road, I believe.
Yeah. Licensed on the road. I've done 8,000 miles in a year. It's my daily driver, and I really love driving it.
Now, also on the side, you're making aluminium trims and stainless steel trims and bits and pieces for the GTs and stuff like that, aren't you? And also restoring grills. I
did that. After you interviewed me with the XT, I had some spare time, and I was building grills and stuff. And now I've got a bit more builds on the go. I just help out other people and do some turn an XT standard grill into GT grill.
Yep.
Source Lucas Ranger spotties.
Yep.
Make the rear molds for the GT out of standard molds. Just things that no one's doing nowadays.
Yeah.
Just to help fellas out. I mean, this industry's booming. I'm finding there's so many people who want an XT, an XR, an XY, an XW. They want these cars. They're never going away.
Yep.
They're who's doing the parts? No one. You can buy them from Subaru, you can buy them from eBay, but there's like people like me that are building parts to help people out.
Yeah, and some people want to have that genuine piece, not the remake as well, don't they? So.
But the remake looks identical.
Yeah, it does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So is that what you're doing? You're using the remakes to then make the GT grills and that sort of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
They're genuine. It's all genuine.
Yep.
Genuine cutouts in the right spot with you would not tell that that's not a genuine grill.
Okay. So it's got all
and
the
it
right
started
hardware
off,
and everything?
Started off like a standard one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice. So the latest build is the XR behind me, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
the Chariot.
And that's what we're going to have a closer look at today. So let's do that. It's been XT, XY. So why the XR this time?
Just I got a message from someone who wanted to sell it. He bought a grill off me, and then he wanted to sell me the whole car. I probably thought it was too big a job for him.
Okay.
So I thought, yeah, all right, I'll buy an XR.
So it was just a matter of convenience more than anything?
It was a good deal. So.
Yeah, fair enough. So what kind of condition was it in? How far had he got with it before you got it?
It was a shell, and it had the roof with one tack on it, like ready to go on.
Okay.
Had a new roof. This actually was the best body I've ever seen. The sill panels were perfect. The quarter panels were perfect. The plenum panel was perfect. It was upside down for 35 years, so it had rust in unusual places that I haven't seen. Whereas the rust in the usual places, it just wasn't there. So it was really good.
So was this dragged in out of the bush or something then, was it, if it was on its roof?
Wheat belt for 35 years, that's all I know.
Okay.
And it was, it was upside down. So that's it.
No, well, so that's kind of saved you some work, but give you a few unusual spots to work on at the same time, was it?
Yeah, I had rust in the middle because it was upside down. The whole wheel well would have been like a bathtub.
Yeah, okay.
So the water got in there and it rusted that. So Tony Subaru, I put an XW centre through it.
Yep. Yeah,
And
nice.
beefed up all the welds more than factory.
Yep.
Made it stronger.
So how long did it take you to get this one together from when you got
This
it to
one
where it
took
is
6
now?
months.
6 months,
From shell, I did all the welding, got it all in primer, and once the whole car was in primer and all the repairs were done, then I painted the engine bay. And once I did that, then I could put the motor in, suspension, and then it really started to take shape. Yeah, it just so once you get the motor and that in, then you can put the interior in and all the suspension, the diff, and then get it driving, and it just becomes exciting then.
Yeah, I can see the smile on your face just talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, it is one of those things, isn't it, when you put all your hard work into something and then you finally get to turn that key. It's a great moment, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
We had my sons in that area, we started it up, and unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just still can't believe. I look at it and go, do I own that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
wow,
nice.
it looks like an XR GT. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's amazing.
No, awesome. And what colour is it?
It's GT Gold.
GT Gold.
Genuine.
Yep.
You know, XR GT at the Nationals and stuff, they lined them all up, and there were so many different shades of the GT Gold. I think when they painted them from factory, the guys in the day in the 60s, they just mixed them up, and they were all a little bit different.
So did this have interior and stuff with it, engine with it, and that sort of thing when you got a hold of it, or was that stuff you all had to source?
Just a bare shell.
Yeah.
The engine and gearbox, 289 top loader, I just saw a marketplace one day, and it was a really good price and a good engine and running and everything, and I just quickly went and got it. Drove an hour, put the trailer on the XY, had the cash, and went and got it. And the interior, I sourced. I'm pretty sure I might have got it on eBay. I mean, I've had 3 interiors, so I think I got it on eBay. And I gave it to Mark at Canning Motor Trimmers, and he trimmed it. I mean, it took 6 months, but I had time.
Now, I notice you're running the Simmons on this, and they really suit it being the gold with the gold paint, don't they?
Yeah, it's controversial. A few people have said, "What are you doing that for?" It's just, I thought gold on gold. Not many people have done that, so I thought I'd do it. Yeah, these are genuine Simmons, but they're actually one piece.
Yeah.
I think they've improved them to make them one piece, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Because I've had 2-piece rims before, and they've always leaked and been trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
But I really like these one-piece ones.
And all the chrome work and everything, was that in reasonable nick when you got a hold of this one, or was that something you had to
I had
work
to
on?
source it all through Tony.
Okay.
But going back to the rims, they're 15 by 8s on the front.
Yep.
And 15 by 10s. So they're the same as the XT, but obviously the XT's got 2 9.5s and these have 2 6.5s. So with the XR, I didn't roll any of the guards.
Yep.
I wanted to leave that all
Keep it
stock
original.
standard.
Yep.
And these actually fitted perfect. They have a 5.5 inch back space.
Mm-hmm.
And someone did the homework really good. They fit perfect. Yeah, I didn't want to do it the same.
Yeah.
Like with all my cars, you want to be different on each car. But I mean, I could have put all this stuff, the windlace, I could have put that on that. Because I mean, that has a lot of bling, a lot of chrome on
striping
it.
and stuff, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have looked out of place on that.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got another set, I could do. But
Yeah.
I'll probably just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Enjoy everything for what it is.
All right, so let's go around and pop the bonnet and have a look at what's under there.
No worries.
All right, mate, so 289. So being an XR, was this the motor that came with this model car?
Yeah, it did actually. Came with a 289. The Fairmonts had 289. The GTs had 289. So when I saw it, I thought, wow, I might as well get a 289.
Yeah. You said you just grabbed this one out of the paper. So was it a healthy runner at that point? Have you had to strip it down and do anything like that?
All I did was take the rock covers off the manifold and all the water pump, and I just put all new stuff on it. It was on Marketplace. I took a punt. He said it was running. It was out of a Mustang. It was out of his dad's Mustang. The motor and gearbox, 289 top loader. And so I drove there, and I turned the motor. It was out of the car, and it didn't have the extractors on it. It was going ch-ch.
Yeah, so you could feel the compression.
So I thought, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I gave it to my mechanic, Mario, and he put it on his machine, and it didn't blow smoke. It was beautiful, no noise, and I thought, yes.
Yep, nice.
Great score. And then I put an 8-inch rear end diff.
Okay.
With 9-inch axles. I sourced all from Tony at Subaru, and I built it all myself. And coming in a panel beater, I do have done mechanical, but building a diff is something I don't do. But I mean, you can walk people. They walk you through it, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, look,
I did all the mechanics on this thing.
No worries. So I assume you went right through the brakes and everything.
Yeah, the brakes. I welded an XY firewall in so I could have the XY GT brake booster set up in this XR instead of the XT XR setup with a different braking system.
Okay.
I chose this one because my XY has really good brakes, so I decided to do that. And I also put XD XF slotted rotors with aluminium calipers, Gerlock.
Yep.
And this thing has amazing brakes.
And the grille and everything is in fantastic condition. Did you have to work that one up?
Yeah, it was the first thing I actually did on this whole build was source a grille, paint it up. This, in my head, I visioned this from day one. When it was a shell and everyone was telling me, it's a bucket of crap, it's a shell, what are you doing? It's going to take... But I didn't see it as that.
Yeah.
I always saw it as this.
Yeah, yeah.
Always.
No, and if you can have a vision in something, I mean, I'm sure you'll know the day that you see something you don't want to touch, you know. I mean, but you know, from what I can gather, some of the bigger rebuilds don't really faze you too much. They sort of, I don't know. Is that a challenge for you when you see something that's so bad? Is that something where you go, challenge accepted?
Well, with the XY, it was. I just have a can-do attitude. And I've had to have that as a panel beater.
Yep.
I've had to have that. What everyone else says can't be done, I'm like, nah, I can do that.
Yep.
And I get in there and I do it and I prove everyone wrong.
Yep.
I always have and always will. And I know you can do it when you've done it that many times.
Mm. Yeah, it's got the extractors on there.
I back in the day, in the 90s, I bought an XR Fairmont for $500. And it was the same colour as this, very similar colour. And I took all the bits off it for I had the black XT, the other one, the Inspiration. And so I took all the Fairmont bits off and put it on mine. And then I on-sold the XR, I think for $1,000. But I sort of always wished that I kept that.
Okay.
Because it's an original Fairmont XR.
Yeah, yeah.
So having this is sort of filled that void.
Yeah, awesome.
So there is some deep heart connection to this thing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And every time I look at it, it just warms the heart, you know.
No,
It's-
awesome. Well, it's a beautiful car, mate. You've done a fantastic job. Let's head round into the trim and have a look at what you've done in there, mate.
No worries.
Wow. Mate, this is awesome. I love the wood grain on the dash. Is this the original dash out of it, or have you upgraded that to a fair model?
It's upgraded to a GT
Yep.
dash.
Okay.
You see the wood grain you can buy on eBay and see how it's it's all matched.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
And there's lots of chrome in here, isn't there? Like, I mean, I love these old cars. It's one of the things I really like about them is their chromy bling and everything like that.
Yeah, it's like an
Yeah.
old classic.
Steering wheel looks very original.
It's original GT steering wheel.
Yeah, wow. I don't think I've quite seen one like that before.
It's similar to, it's the same as the XT one.
Okay.
And the billet steering column I got from Billet Works in,
Okay.
in Wangara.
Yep.
They made it for me.
So other than that, it's pretty standard, like pretty all factory stuff. Other than that, really, in here, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
there anything else you've modified or done to in here, or have you just stayed sort of true to the?
Genuine
Original.
XR GT trim.
Yep.
Genuine XR GT. The dicky seat I wanted.
Yep.
Good armrest.
Yeah, beautiful.
XR GT seats.
Yep.
Yeah. Kept it all pretty much genuine.
Yeah. And you got the perforated hood lining as well.
Yeah. Oh, these
So
are
that's
XY
really good.
GT. 'Cause I
Oh, the
like
pinch mouldings, yeah.
I had a spare set of them.
Yeah.
They're
okay.
pretty rare, so
They're-
I decided to put them on.
And yeah, the old 4-speed top loader.
It's a Hurst shifter, but it's not XR GT. They're different. I mean, I did this because I had it bent that way, so it clears the dicky seat.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's quite comfortable.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable to drive, so
Yep.
just leave it like that.
Nice.
And I'm really, really loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Different driving experience, isn't it?
Oh.
When you got that third pedal and the stick.
It's
yeah.
really cool. It's just, I just love it so much.
Yeah. The more you got to drive an old car like this, the better, I reckon. You know,
Mm.
so the more things you've got to do, changing gears, all that kind of stuff. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. Just brings back that nostalgia, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's got the
awesome, mate.
Bluetooth correct, period correct radio,
Oh yeah.
so
yeah,
I can
sweet.
listen to Black Sabbath, AC/DC, and
Yeah.
Metallica and all that.
Yeah,
Iron
wicked.
Maiden.
Yeah.
I've built the cluster with XY GT, Taco, and Speedo.
Okay.
So they're something that I've done that's not original because
Yep.
the original XR GT had $6,000. This
Yep.
is $8,000.
Yep.
What else? That's about it.
All the Venetians in the back there.
Yeah, I put the XY Venetian in the back.
Yeah. Oh, retractable seatbelts.
Yeah,
Lovely.
proper.
There was a lot of stuff you could interchange between them, wasn't there? Being the same body,
Yeah.
body shape and that sort of thing. Lots
So many
of
things.
things you could interchange. Yeah.
And I mean, all the parts places they make a lot of XY new stuff.
Yep.
Because XY is the popular one, so they're in rare spares and all that. They've made all the parts for XY, which is good that they fit XR and XT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And like you say, you've it gives you a lot of options to mix up the trims and mix up the chrome trims and mix up all the things that you like to do to
Yeah.
make your cars a little bit different.
Well,
So-
Tony at Subaru, he made this dash. Well, he has these dashes all done with chrome on them,
Yep.
and so I gave him the old one, and then I exchanged, and he gave me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
But
piece, isn't
I built
Yeah.
it all up, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice piece. I like that. As soon as you get in that steering wheel and dash cluster, just really
Pops.
look awesome together. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
And I put brand new windows.
Oh, the quarter windows.
Yeah, they're brand new XY ones.
Yep.
But then I had XR GT glass fit. I fitted them in
Mm-hmm.
because I bought all this XR GT. See the logos all match.
Yep.
That's XR GT.
Yeah,
I had
okay.
Tony Subaru. I specifically asked him, I want XR GT, proper logos on the glass,
Yeah.
and that was extra.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it took months and months, and then they finally came.
Yep.
And so I'm hoping one day someone says, "Oh wow, look at the glass!
Yeah.
It's
that's
it's
awesome.
genuine glass, but
Yeah.
genuine new glass made."
Yep. Let's head around the back and see what's going on around there.
No worries.
All right, so just very standard, like most boots.
Yeah, I painted it all in there
Yep.
myself. To paint all the inside edges of the whole car myself.
Replacement rubber boot mat, I assume, is it? Or
Yeah.
is that an old school one that you've found somewhere?
No, it's a replacement one.
Yep.
It's got a 36-gallon tank, XY GT 36-gallon tank.
Yep.
All my cars do. They're just bigger, better, you know.
Yeah, and I love the round taillights on the XRs and the XTs. So, well, the XTs had what do they have? They had the circle with the stripe across, didn't they?
Yeah.
For the indicator, and these are the sort of more Frenched in ones almost, aren't they?
Yeah, like XP and that as well.
Yeah.
Earlier
Yep.
Falcons. And then the rear bumper with the overriders. I mean, who doesn't love overriders?
Yeah.
And the exhaust, mate Sean, he's done all three of them, all three of my builds. He does the exhaust from the extractors back.
Yep.
And he's really good. Can't beat twin system.
Yeah, no, they sound great.
And they went to singles for a while. Remember that
Yeah,
era
yeah.
when they went to singles.
Yep.
And it was like, no, I'd still put a twin system on.
Yeah.
I put a twin system on the 6-cylinder.
Yeah. And you got the original Falcon badging on the back and everything.
Yeah.
And the stripe on the back. So that's what was that inspired by? Is that a GT sort of style thing?
XR
or is it
GT,
yeah,
genuine.
okay. Yep.
That's the way they have it on the back.
Yeah.
So I just did the same as that.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. Well, you've done a great job on this one yet again. Like I said, that was my car of the year a couple of years ago when we last come out and saw you, and yeah, that's good.
Is this one going to make car?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, well, that's it. I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's not far to wait though. Nearly at the end of the year. No, mate. Look, this is an awesome build again. Yet again, well done, mate. Because I know you put a lot of your own hard work and time into these cars, mate, and it certainly showed.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, awesome, mate. All right, mate, so here's the XY that we were talking about earlier. And so this was in pretty bad shape when you got a hold of it.
It was very bad.
Yeah.
It was beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, sometimes I think you take a challenge on, don't you?
Yeah, well, 99% of people would have not done that.
Yeah, fair enough. No worries, but looking at it now, it looks great. You know what I mean? She looks solid. There's no rust hanging out of it. You know what I mean? It's patinaed up, which really doesn't bother me at all. And I know that was part of your idea with this one.
Yeah. It was pretty much, I dared myself to fix it. I wanted a big challenge. I deliberately made it look old when I painted it. Didn't put any clear on the acrylic.
Yep.
And, left bullet holes. See the bullet dents and bullet dents
okay,
still
yep.
there? And sourced this bonnet from Tony at Subaru, and it was already white.
Yep.
It already had these holes in it, and left
nice.
all the patina on the roof, all the bullet holes over here, all the bullet dents, you know.
Yep. Yeah, because we'll show the doors that you took off this car, and that will sort of show people what, you know.
Yeah, the bullets went through 4 layers. So they went through the door skin, the door frame, through the seats, and then that door skin, and came out the other side.
Yep.
Massive, like a big flower hole. You'll see.
Yeah.
When you,
Yep.
probably seeing now. Yeah, it was at back of Quarter, and I heard it was used as target practice for years.
Yep.
They weren't worth anything.
Yeah.
And then prices boomed. 2000, 2005.
Yep.
And XYs were coming out of the woodwork, weren't they?
Well, it's certainly worth putting the time into because, like you say, they're not just worth $5,000 anymore. They're worth a way lot more than that. So.
Well, I'd rather weld up a bullet hole than a bit of rust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bullet holes are good compared to rust.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're easy.
Yep.
Just, weld it up.
Yep.
And I was welding bullet holes up for a long time.
Yeah.
And obviously replaced in and out of sill panels, replaced 4 doors, replaced fender, bonnet, tie bars, the usual deal.
Well, it's great to see another one saved, I'd say. Another one back on the road, and this is a 6-cylinder, even though you got the shaker on top.
Yeah.
Breathing
shaker.
Yeah, but and the best thing about it is you get into this thing and you just drive it every day.
Yeah,
and I reckon
8,000 miles in a year.
Yep, and there's very few people with XYs in their sheds that I reckon can say that.
And everywhere I go, I get thumbs up,
Yep.
and I put the trailer on it, and I go to the tip. I source parts. It's just a great daily driver.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather drive this any day of the week than any of those new cars that tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing doesn't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell me I'm going over a white line and go into a lull. I'm never getting out of these cars because, you know, I mean, they're pretty basic, and I'm the boss when I'm driving, not some car telling me what to do.
You drive it.
Yeah.
I think is the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, people say, oh, why'd you do that? Why'd you make it into a GT? Why don't you put a V8 in it? And I just turn around and say, well, would you rather it just be sitting in the back of quarter pub still, rotting away? Or would you rather it be on the road and people give me thumbs up and enjoying it? It looks like a GT. Yeah, no, it's for me and my family, this thing, we go out in all the time. I park it up and I don't really care. If someone dents it, I'll just bog it up and spray it with a can. You know, my other two builds, I proved that, you know, that I can build something with a bit of pride, and that. Well, this was just a quick 20-week build. Park it anywhere, the lap a daily driver, and drive it in the rain, drive it in the mud. This property gets real muddy, and I've shown pictures of it, like mud all over it.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is.
Yeah, mate. Drive it like it's 1971. I love it.
Yeah, and it shows me and the wife and my sons and that, we all sit on the bonnet, and everyone says, "What are you doing sitting on the car?" I'm like, "It's the lapper." And some people say, "I used to do that." Well, back in the 70s and 80s, everyone used to sit on their cars.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I like bringing the old school back.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to all the old music. I'm still living in the 70s and 80s, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I ain't going nowhere. Tell you what.
Good place to be, mate.
Exactly.
Good place to be. Yeah, look, I always think the 70s and 80s in Australia was one of the best times to be alive.
Exactly.
It
definitely
really was. You know.
Yeah.
We
all
all
still
had.
listen to the music.
Yeah.
Driving the cars. I mean, the day and age now, it's just, I shake my head and think, what's the world coming to?
No, wicked job, mate. This is awesome. I love that it gets out, driven every day. I like the way you've just, whatever, let's just get it back on the road and make it as it is. Because like you say, if someone wants to buy it off you one day and finish it off, then this is a really good solid base now for someone, isn't it?
I built it all V8 suspension, V8 brakes, GTHO interior, 36-gallon tank, all V8 rear end. My mechanic said, if you put a 351 in this, all you have to do is change the bell housing.
Okay.
And maybe a few, like the exhaust, a bit of welding, they're done.
Yep.
So it is so easy to make V8.
Yeah, nice. Well, they were pretty simple. Like, so what gearbox has this got behind it?
C4.
It's got the 6-cylinder C4. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
I did have the 65E stickers on it, the Alan Moffat.
Oh, yeah.
But that was for last year's Bathurst. But I took them off. I'm doing a wrap course, like a car wrapping course in November, because my daughter wants her car. She's going to buy a Mini and she wants it pink. And my son's got a GDR Skyline. He wants it Paul Walker blue with the silver.
Yep,
so I'm going to wrap that. And this, I can get the red, track red Alan Moffat wrap for it.
Yep.
I've seen it. And so I'm tempted maybe to actually go full Alan Moffat red.
Yeah, right.
Something different.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It looked like the race car. So it's got all the advertising, all the stuff on the
Everything.
wrap already, has it?
Yeah, on the wrap.
Yeah,
and it's real weathered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll show you
wow.
a picture.
Yeah, it's awesome what they've got out there these days, isn't it? You know, the things that you can do. Yeah, wraps have come a long way, I think, from what they were.
Yeah, so you've got to do something to keep me busy. Now I'm not building cars.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you got one to go. You got to find yourself an XW, mate. You got to get the awesome foursome.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. 4 cars in 3 years, nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
So you got to call it quits.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Take a break. Yeah. No worries, man. All right, well, I think it's one thing left to do.
Drive.
Yeah, let's go for a cruise in this XR, mate.
No worries.
Wicked. So chuck your seatbelt on. No rattles or vibrations through the drivetrain. Yeah, no, it's wicked, man.
Yeah, she's a real solid car, which is me. I'm real happy the way it drives.
Yeah.
Drive forever. It's just like the XT. It's really solid. Brand new XR in the 2025. It's a brand new XR, isn't it?
Pretty much, mate. Drives like a brand new car, mate. Really nice and smooth. It's beautiful.
I made sure everything I tighten every little bolt.
Yeah.
Finish each job properly.
Yeah.
And you know.
All right, Rusty, mate, thanks for having us out again today, mate. You've got another car out on the road, or another 2 cars out on the road, and mate, that's absolutely awesome. This thing is beautiful, drives really well, mate, and it's smooth as a button, so very well done. And can't wait to see what you do next, even though you've said you won't. We know how these things go. All right, mate, thanks very much for having us out again.
Yep.
Too easy, Rusty.
I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, I'm
Enjoys
sure
the
they will,
video.
mate. Yeah, beautiful car.